All right, so today the baby is 15 days old. So this is going to be oh, technically a week 2 update. But before we get to that, I have to explain a few things. I was actually going to do a video when they were about 7 or 8 days old, and then I was going to do the video roughly today, moving into their second week, 14, 15 days old. But things don't always go as planned, and long story short, we lost the little baby girl. Sometimes, with all the precautions, you do everything right, you take all the necessary steps, give mommy everything she needs during her pregnancy, prior to her pregnancy as far as nutrition, during her pregnancy, and then even afterwards, and things happen sometimes. So before I bring out the little guy and give you his update, there was only 2. There was 1 male and 1 female, and so for that reason, in a joking way, we decided since we had 2 only, we were going to call them Biscuits and Gravy. Just temporary nicknames anyways. They don't stick with those names when they go to their home. But so they developed shortly after I filmed the last video, actually the morning after. Every hour and a half to 2 hours we were feeding them. So it was around 4 a.m. after we had filmed the last video, which was about 6 or 8 hours roughly after we had filmed the last video, that the female had stopped eating. So the first thing you think is, well, she may be constipated. So you express her and whatnot, and got her to go to the bathroom. And she still wouldn't eat. She became lethargic, and that all within 30, 40 minutes. Because she had ate at like 2:30, ate fine, and then at 4:30 in the morning, not so good. So immediately, not to take a chance, we brought her in, but we also brought her brother just in case it was an infection, to get them both seen to. It turned out they did. Well, the girl had received an infection from her mother, so we were given the option to either have her put out her suffering or treat her. So of course we tried to treat her, and we got the medicine she needed and whatnot, and her and her brother came home, and then for the next 2.5 days, we were giving them their medicine and doing our best for them. But it didn't matter. The male got better, the female got worse. And then we brought her back in, and then she was given assisted oxygen. And to make a long story short, even though we exhausted all options, we lost little Biscuits, the little female. So we're still going to do updates for the little guy, because he's also just as important, and I figure he should still have his little spotlight before he goes to his new home with weekly updates and so forth. But I just wanted to be completely transparent. No video was done because during that time, it's not proper to be filming at the vet. Some people do, I won't. And 2, the last thing I was thinking about was making a video at that time. We were just focusing all of our resources and time on the little girl, because she was worse than her brother. No matter what, sometimes you can't do the impossible. So I didn't plan exactly on what I was going to say. This is just, I don't do heavy editing. I just basically hit the record button, and sometimes I babble too much, and sometimes maybe I don't give enough information, but that's what happened. So Terry and I discussed it, and since they are only temporary nicknames, I figured you can't have gravy without biscuits. So we've changed his temporary nickname because it was too upsetting to think about, the little girl that's not with us right now. So his nickname now, it's just a temporary nickname, is Terry picked it. So you can leave a comment if you think it's silly or not, but I think it's kind of comical. His new nickname will be Chop Suey. So this is an update on why The video was about 4 days late, and it's also and why we didn't do the 6-7 day video, and it's also an update. This is his 2-week update. So I'm going to show you Chop Suey in a little bit. He's doing a lot better now. He's gaining weight again. He's back to gaining his 10% daily. I'll bring him out, and I'll show you. He just finished eating about half an hour ago. So he should be all right. I'll bring him out, and let me just see if I move the camera. 1 second. Yeah, sorry. Oh, there's kimchi. See, I don't know what it is, but kimchi goes, and this is just the area that we use when it's time for them to eat. So there's like a little heating pad underneath the pool, and then there's the light, the little. So Mummy goes in here every hour and a half or 2 hours and feeds the baby Chop Suey, and then back out. And in between feedings, as you know, Chop Suey's in here. He's actually almost done with the incubator now. He'll be out soon in open air. But for some reason, Kimchi, he just loves being in warmer environments. Like when he jumps in bed, he's always under a blanket, even in the summertime. Kimchi! And then he's constantly, whenever Mummy and the baby's not in there, Kimchi jumps in there and is trying to soak up we call it artificial sun tanning. Now the reason why the bars are around here, there's an opening. From here to here, there's an opening. Just enough room for Mummy to go in and out. But the reason the bars are here is we don't want Mummy or any other dog jumping on the back of the couch, running over, and then jumping in the pool and landing on a baby. So we put the bars there so they can only go in and out right here, and it just removes any potential accident. Even though I'm sitting, I'll be sitting right here during the feeding, or Terry or one of our older kids will be sitting here during the feeding. There's always the chance that another pug could come up behind, run around, and jump in. So by having these bars go around, and you can't see because of the angle, but there's an opening. The bars stop here and then they start here. It's about a 12-inch opening. So they have to cross over our lap to get in. That way it just reduces the chance. Anyways, again, this is me rambling. So I'm going to bring little Chop Suey out. Let me just move this camera. The camera has a thing where it'll automatically follow if I activate it, but it just follows the human face. So then if I move, it would be following me and not where I want it. So that's why I have my little laptop here set up, so I could. What I'll do is maybe I'll pause the video, and then I'll grab Chop Suey and I'll move the camera and I'll have it closer. No, that would probably make it a little hard for editing, actually, because I'm still learning how to edit videos. I'm not the best at that. I'm just going to bring them out, and then I'll bring the camera around. Let me just grab the camera. All right. So, hopefully that will be good, and then I can hold them right here. So give me 1 second. Yep, you eat. So he had a hard go. And that's another thing too I want to talk about. It's not going to change the price. Obviously these babies, okay. Or you know what? This was bad actually. I shouldn't have done this. As soon as I pick him up, he wants to eat. Even though he's not hungry. Kimchi, get down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him in with his mom. Let him have even though he's not really that hungry, I'll let him have a little bit of milk. So then he won't be so hyper. Because I'm going to try to show him to you. But he's going to be very hyper right now because he wants to eat. It's like they're programmed. As soon as you touch them, they want to eat. And he shouldn't even be hungry. He literally just ate half an hour ago. I don't know if you can see him. Because his face is pretty dark. Steps you eat. There he is. He's doing a lot better now. He lost a lot of weight, but he gained it back. So that's another thing too. Obviously, we have set pricing. So we have pricing for fawns, we have pricing for solid black, and then we have pricing for brindles, for white, okay, kept Huey. You know what? Let me just set him up with his mom. 1 minute. Baby, come here, baby. Come on. So Chopsuey's not really hungry right now, but I'm going to let him. As soon as you touch them, as soon as you wake them up, they automatically want their mommy, right, at this age. So, come on, lie down. I'm going to get him just to, there you go. Just to have a couple sips of milk, just so he can calm down, and then I'll hold him back up to the camera. So yeah, like I was saying, we have set pricing for fawns, for blacks, for brindles, for whites, and so forth. But when something like this happens, and then we end up bringing them to the vet, and obviously spending a lot more money to save them, we don't change our pricing. It's not as if, we had to spend $2,600 to save this puppy, so now we have to charge more. Of course, we're not going to do that. Kimchi, stop. So, which is why sometimes you'll have a litter where you do obviously make money. You have a profit. But then sometimes you'll have a litter, like this for example, where you'll spend a lot more money than you're going to make off that litter. But that's on us. That doesn't upset me. It's part of life. The only reason why he was here in the first place is because of us. So the onus is on us to do everything we can to give them the absolute best chance, to thrive. I know there's a lot of breeders that would just be like, they would just call it. They would just be like, all right, we can't save this one. And that's it. And then I don't think I would feel good about myself if I did that. Like I always think back to Elsa. She's about 4 years old now. But that was one of the puppies that I think we spent just under $5,000 to save her life. And then we ended up selling her for $1,500. Well, obviously that's, you're taking a huge loss. It was a small litter. There was only 3 puppies in that litter. And she had a bit of a hard go. But again, she was only here because of us. So we did what we did. We did what we had to do. We saved her. So that particular litter was a loss. But maybe 2 litters later, it's like, oh, they're all perfectly fine. Like our last litter, they were all fine. They were all healthy. And it wasn't a loss. It balances out. But I don't want people to think that, I know there's some breeders that if the puppy has to struggle or has a bit of a fight ahead of them, they just let the puppy die just because they don't want to cut into their profits. We haven't ever done that. I refuse to do that. We will never do that. So there are babies. We love them all. And like Dixie, for example, this is her last litter. So she's being spayed, but she's still staying with us because she's family. We're not going to a lot of times people will spade and rehome. Sometimes we have to, but whenever we're able to keep them within the family, we will obviously do that. So, but this poor little guy, he had a hard go, and I cannot wait for the day to see him go to his new family because it's gonna be bittersweet. Obviously, you get very attached to them when they have a harder time, but you're even that much more happy to see them get do their little zoomies in the front lawn when they're 8 weeks old and they're getting ready to go to their new home. Because then that's what you can't put a price on that. It's like, oh my God, every moment he has now is because we went that extra mile. So, well, he's actually that's not too bad, Huey. Even though he ate like literally 30 minutes before I started recording. So what I'll do is I'll stop the video. I'm gonna let him have a full, probably 10 more minutes of eating. Because he seems to be eating pretty good. That, you know what? Maybe I can bring the video in closer. See if I can bring this in closer so you can see him. I don't know. This is not the best planned out here. Let me see if I think I could zoom in on this. 1 minute. All right, there we go. So if I zoom in a little bit, I know the bars are there, but hopefully you could see the little man eating there. That's Chop Suey. Okay, Dixie, you're right. I usually take her collar off when she's in there with him, but this was not really a scheduled feeding. I just threw him in. I could tell as soon as I picked him up. I'm like, oh my god, he's hungry again. But I don't know. I'm trying to move the camera for you guys here a bit. How's that?
Do right. Hey, Dixie, do. That's a do right, Diddy.
Oh yeah, you show hard down too. You show hard down too. All right, I'm gonna pause the video. Oh no, I think yeah, I'll stop the video and then I'll just record a small little clip, a close-up of him after he's done eating. Or you know what? I'll wait till he's just almost done eating. And when he's almost done eating, oh, that was Kimchi hitting the camera. When he's almost done eating, I'll start recording again, and then I'll get him to go to the bathroom and whatnot. And then as I'm doing all that, then I can hold him up to the camera, and you can see his little face and whatnot. But it's kind of hard to make out because he's a fawn and his face is very dark black. But he's got a good weight to him now. He's got nice, good wrinkles on his face. They're starting to develop, and his tail is just a little stub. It's actually probably 3/4 of the size it's supposed to be, which might look very cute. Because once he's around 6-7 weeks old, his tail's going to curl. So I'm very curious to how that's going to look with a stubbier looking tail. But we haven't advertised him yet, so he's still available for anyone that wants to come visit him or meet him in person. You can go on our Facebook page and you can message us there, or you could text us. I'm not sure how YouTube is, so you can see our cell number on our Facebook page. I don't think I can say it on YouTube. I'm not sure. All right, I'm going to stop the video, and then I'll start it again in a few minutes when it's time to express him, and then get him. Hopefully, I'll get a nice close-up of him, and then after that. Yeah, we'll get a nice close-up of him, and then hopefully with the lighting you'll be able to see his face and whatnot. Hopefully it's just not all blacked out. I will be back in a second. Okay, so we're back. He's just eaten. He ended up eating almost like a full feeding again. It was crazy. So now he's playing little mouth games. He's chewing on my hand here. I'm going to get him up. So for all of you that have watched previous videos, or at least have this far into this video, I do appreciate it, because I know it's not riveting content, and I don't heavily edit them and try to make attention-grabbing thumbnails and all that stuff. So I mean, I do appreciate it. But again, this YouTube channel is more for the potential mom and dads of the pugs, so they'll have a catalog to go back on and look at their babies at week 1, 2, 3, so forth. But really quick, here's Kimchi. Literally, as soon as the baby came out, as soon as I took out, when he was done eating, and I took out Chop Suey, instantly, Mom jumped out of the pool right away, because she doesn't really want to be in there longer than she has to. And the second I took out Chop Suey, Mommy jumped out, and Kimchi jumped back in. So he's going to sleep for the next hour in there. He just loves the heat. So we're going to have to look into getting him a heated dog bed or something, because Kimchi just loves the heat. It's crazy. Here's Alpha Getty right next to me. She's pretty well always stuck to my hip. And here's Mommy. As soon as I took the baby out, she jumped out, and she's right there like, why are you holding him? What are you doing with my baby? Why is he not back in his little incubator? Because she knows the routine. She knows that he's in there, comes out, he's in the pool with her. As soon as he's done, he's back in there. So now she's like, why are you holding him? But it's because we're going to show him. Let me zoom in. If I could 1 second. All right. So I'll zoom in and sorry about that. Here we go. Okay, Chop Suey. So Chop Suey is exactly 15 days old today. On it. He is literally, I believe he's 720 or 724 grams. So you could work that out into pounds or whatever, but he's, oh, we got a, beautiful, we have a random housefly right now. Decided wants to land on Chop Suey. Oh boy. So this is Chop Suey. I'll try to get a little bit better of a close-up. It's kind of hard because he wants to, he's constantly turning. There we go. Chop Suey. Look at the camera, little man. Your potential mom and dad might be watching. Oh no. Chop Suey. There you go. That's a pretty good, pretty decent shot there of him. Uh-oh, he's starting to get sleepy. Oh, Chop Suey. So for all of you that put up with this 18 or 20 minute video, whatever it is, there you go. You just got a 3-second clip of little Chop Suey close up. Oh boy, Chop Suey. I actually have to cut his nails. His nails are getting long already. It's also even more important when you have, you know, with him, if I cut his nails a day or two late, it's irrelevant because he's on his own now. But when you have 2 or more together, you want to make sure those nails stay short all the time because they'll end up scratching each other's eyes when they try to play with each other. But here's Chop Suey. He's trying to... The camera seems opposite. I turn him this way and it goes the wrong way, so sorry about that. But there you go. Chop Suey. Maybe if I try to show you his chest, he has a small... Oh, there, go this way. Why is it like that? All right, he has a small white patch on the center of his chest. Oh, the camera was in that stupid mode where it was moving. There you go, Chop Suey. Obviously, he's your classic fawn. He's got a very dark mask on his face, very dark ears, and then his body, like his back. If you've seen him in that other video when he was days old, he was darker, and now he's even lighter. Okay, so but he's still dark. He's still dark compared to his mother. So if you look at his body right now, and here's his mother's body in the background, he's still darker than his mom, but he's lighter than when he was like a few days old. By the time he's 8 weeks old, he'll be very, very close to mummy's color, but yet the ears and the face will stay black. So that's the same with fawns. A lot of people don't realize they're very dark at birth, and then they lighten. And when I say they lighten, it's their body that lightens, the part that's meant to be fawn. But their mask, their face, and their ears stay really dark. Chop Suey. Okay. And also there's a road. Let me just zoom out now. Okay, little man. There's a road crew right now, just outside us. So Kimchi and Betty seem to be investigating it the most. Yeah, they're looking out the window there. Okay, guys, mind your own business. Don't get involved. All right. So you can never really pick the best time to film. We have. Oh, you okay? This one, yeah. So you can't always pick the best time to film. If I waited for obviously perfectly quiet moments, I mean, I'd be filming at 3 a.m. all the time. But yeah, so little Kimchi, he acts like a guard dog. He hears anything outside and acts like he's going to do something about it, and he runs to the window. But I really don't think he would know what to do. If I just opened the door and let him go, he would just probably go lick them or whatever. So this little guy too, even after he came home from the vet, he was he was spitting up a lot. So pretty well almost every feeding we had to use the suction machine to suck out. If you can see it. Oh, thank you, Kimchi. Tends to knock the camera every time. So almost every feeding we had to use the suction machine for the first probably 7 or 8 days. And now he's finally eating without spitting up. But that has to be done right away, otherwise they could aspirate. And then the liquid in their lungs could cause pneumonia. And this little guy just doesn't need any more battles. He's already had he already had his fight, and the last thing we want is for him to have another battle. Okay, guys, that's enough. Mind your own business. Don't. I'll forget it. Come on. So I'm going to put him in there, probably in the next day or two. Probably, yeah, within the next. Well, today is Saturday. So probably by Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to set up a different area for him because he's not going to need the incubator much longer now. He doesn't really need it now, actually. The only reason I'm still using it is just because he is a little bit smaller than he should be because he was delayed. The sickness caused him to mature a little bit slower. So he's only a little over 700 grams at 15 days old right now. So it's just there, so there's less chance of a puppy, one of the adults jumping on him or stepping on him and whatnot. So he's there in between feedings for his own safety. But I've already dropped the temperature. It's very close to room temperature now. The humidity as well has been lowered. So he's pretty much within hairs of it being room temperature and humidity anyways. So I'm going to set something up for him where but again, he doesn't really need a large play area because he's on his own. He doesn't have siblings to move around and play with, which is sad. There is Blackberry, which is our little 8.5-week-old, she's 9 weeks now, little black pug we got. But she's playing with Mushu and Waffles, so I don't want to have her in the play area with him. But we'll figure out something where he doesn't really need this as much now. We'll have to set up a little area for him. We'll have to make it so the other dogs can't get to him, because right now the play area that we have over here is too big for him. And that's where Mushu and Waffles are. Well, they're not there all the time. They're outside mostly and with the family, but at nighttime they're in there. So they have their little, over there, they have their little potty, little poop area, and their little bed and their play area. But they're not really there now. Well, I put them in there now just as I'm filming. But for the most part, they're out with the adult dogs now. Okay, so that's it. I'm sorry it wasn't a typical happy update with, oh, look at this puppy doing perfect, but it is what it is. I didn't even want to talk about it for the first few days after it happened. Obviously, it's upsetting. But, yeah, we no longer have biscuits, and gravy is now chopped suey. So, Kimchi getting mad at the street workers. What are they not even? Oh yeah, they're still there. So my next update video will be more upbeat. It's gonna mostly just be Chop Suey in his little play area. By then he'll be going into 3 weeks old, and you're gonna see him moving around more, playing more. You're gonna see more detail on his face, and then his 4-week update, that's when you're going to see him having puppy mush for the first time and being more of a little puppy and not so much a little baby just looking for a nipple. So, okay, you guys have a good weekend or a good night whenever it is you see this video. And aside from that, I'm also going to be doing some videos with our adults, because we're redoing their puppy area in the backyard. I'm adding a fire hydrant, so Kimchi will have his own fire hydrant to pee on. It's actually a real fire a real fire hydrant that I got off one of our job sites that we work on. Got it about 3 years ago, and we just hadn't got around to setting it up. So I'll probably film some of that, having their little dog area updated. When I say dog area, it's part of the backyard. We have the yard sectioned off into 3 different areas for the dogs. So yeah, there'll be a video about probably their little puppy area. Kimchi, seriously? He's like shredding a pillowcase. Don't do that. That's bad. That's bad. So there's going to be a video about that, and probably I'll try to get a video of them in the backyard, all playing together or whatnot. Okay, well, I'm not mad at you, but just don't do that. As soon as they can tell by your tone, I'm like, Kimchi, don't do that. And then he just goes all low and he comes in all sad. He's just sunk. He just sunk. Okay, guys, you have a good day.